Well, hello there, friends and family. As you can see, we're back out in the yard and we're working. We got those work duds on. Well, they started out not as work duds, hiking duds, but now they've become work duds. But it's Tuesday, May the 3rd, and we got a project on hand. It's not a big one, but as you can probably see, it's sunny. Well, they call it partly sunny today. We got a lot of those there big old puffy clouds moving in from the west. And it's currently 86 degrees. And just a tiny breeze. Yeah. That's picking up a little bit now, since all of you, my friends and family, stopped by. And you can hear the birds. They're just excited. Cleaned out their bird bath. Whew. Thrilled to death. Before I go in today, we'll fill up the feeders too. Yeah. Because things really haven't hit full gear as far as, natural foods for the birds to forage on. There's some berries, and there'll be more here in the coming weeks. Right now things are a little slim in the early springtime, even here in the deep south. But let me show you what we got going on today. It's not a big project. And if we finish it up, of course, head her on to another. Now, if you watched the previous video, you'll know we got the old True Temper wheelbarrow all back fixed up. Got brand new handles on it and everything, rather than throwing it away when the handles broke and dumped my load. Yeah, that was yesterday. I knew I'd cracked one, and like I said, I'd ordered some new ones. And they came in just in the nick of time. Wasn't even 10 minutes after that one on the left finally gave way and dumped all my stuff in it. That mail lady delivered the new ones. Hey, fantastic timing by the U.S. Postal Service, right? But what we got on the plate today is we're going to clean up around this here big old pine. One that me and my son planted. Whew, I guess now, going on 20 years ago. Yeah, you've all seen it on the videos. Yeah, it's a pretty large one, sitting up here. Yeah, it was one of those Earth Day things. We dug up a little pine seedling by the house that actually sprouted here. And we grew it off a year or two. And then me and him and my daughter, Ashley, this is one of our Earth Day projects. But as you can see, like always, native and non-native species tend to hug around these trees, because they know that old mower can't get in that tight. And they know the old man just ain't always so great on weed eating, And that's what's happened around here. We got some oaks coming up from where the squirrels hid their acorns and forgot about them. We got some of that there privet, Yep, that grows everywhere because the birds eat the berries, sit in the trees, and of course deposit them. We also got a wild cherry here. Same thing. Birds gifted it to us, but we don't need it here. And like I say, there's other things here. Here's a whole different kind of oak. Look at this. Look at how big those oak leaves are in comparison to these oak leaves. Yeah, but then we got something we got to be real careful about. You see it down here? See them leaves of 3? We all know leaves of 3. Let it be. Well, that, my friends, right there, is poison ivy. Not poison oak, but poison ivy. You can tell because the leaves come to a point. Yeah. Now, if it was poison oak, they'd be rounded at the end. And then we've got some other vines here. You see these here? And people often give me warnings about these. And they'll confuse these with poison oak. These are not. These are a native vine called Virginia creeper. Now you can look all this up on Mr. Google or Mr. Duck or whoever you want to. Now I will leave a couple of links to some websites that are informative, not only about poison ivy, but poison oak and sumac too, all of which grows throughout the South. And you can see the Virginia creeper is climbing up this here big old pine. And it's more prominent on this side. You can see right here, side by side. Right there is the poison ivy. On the left, and right beside it, is the Virginia creeper. It's almost like they're the best of buddies, aren't they? Well, I didn't used to be allergic to the poison ivy, but as I've got older, I gotta be real careful, because it'll jump on me. And of course you know who's coming. Spooky, you coming up? You gonna help me? I knew you were. You woke up? No, we up here in the shade. I appreciate you, buddy. Your paw gloves are down in the wheelbarrow with mine, okay? So we're gonna have to get on down there, get the big pruners and the little ones, and start clearing this out very carefully with gloves on. And here's something you need to know. The oils from this poison ivy will get on your gloves. Yeah, and if you touch bare skin with those gloves, yeah, you'll be sorry. Just saying. Just so you know. And we'll wax this here privet down. We'll get rid of all these here little oak seedlings that are coming up. And I mean, folks, you can't save everything. If I didn't keep this at bay, this place would revert to a native rainforest in about a couple of years, because it's almost become that in the past. And we just can't have that in the neighborhood, as all of you know. So we're going to get to working on it, me and Spooky. I don't think we'll get much help out of Mr. Gray or Speedy, and Lord knows Cleo ain't going to help. And then we're going to come down around here and pick out the stuff we don't want. Around the old cedar trunk, it was another tree seedling that me and my son and daughter grew and planted here, and it got way too large and we had to take her down. But we do got something that we want to keep growing here. And then we've got here again some Virginia creeper, American greenbrier, you know, people call it Similac. You can eat the root, eat the young tender sprouts. Yeah, it's a good wild food source. We got some blackberry in there. Also looks like we got some of that there sacred bamboo. Yeah, we got a mixture of stuff. But we're only going to leave one thing behind. And it's a, you know, sort of kind of ground creeper. And we're hoping that it would take over this area and grow up this bank. We have got some going here, but it's a slow go. And I've had this here for a couple of years. It ain't doing much taking over. Now, I mean, there's more of it up in through there, along with Virginia creeper, which I just keep sort of trimmed back with the string trimmer. Here again, it's to hold this bank and sort of, you know, cover up all my dewberries, which, you know, me and Spooky have right over here. We just got a pile of them, don't we, Spooky? Ooh, we got a lot getting ripe. Why didn't you tell me, Spooky? Oh, you did? I wasn't listening. Well, y'all, enough jaw jacking. I got to get to it. But, you know, when we get done, we'll come back and show you the progress. Yeah, this ain't earth-shattering or, you know, spiritual moment in life. It's just what the old man does every day, you know, when you don't see him. So I thought, you know, Lord, since I'm out here and since y'all dropped by You know, I'd share it with you. So you know we were live and kicking. Of course, look at there. Spooky's eating all the dewberries. Spooky. And you like the berries too? You know, who would have thought of it? Now I know who's been getting them. I thought it was the birds. It's Spooky. Oh my. Are they tasty? And they're black like you, so they gotta be good, huh? Okay. Enjoy, buddy. Who would have ever thunk it? Okay. Y'all grab your gloves. I got some spare pruners in the shop. Let's get her done. Well, as you can see, we got it all chopped down, pulled away from the old pine tree. Yep. All we got to do next is drag off the big to the pile that we're making out in front of the street and everything. Nope, we're not going to be burning this. There is a lot of that there poison ivy that I showed you in here. That would not be good. I have lived that once. I cleared off a bunch of land, piled up a bunch of poison ivy, poison oak, sumac, it had it all. And I let it dry, and then I set it on fire. Yeah, well, I breathed in some of that smoke. And let me tell you, for the next week, I was in some bad shape. My nose, my throat, even down into my bronchial tubes all became quite inflamed. You know, similar to the rash that you get when if you're allergic to poison ivy. In fact, it was because of that time, in my late 30s, that after that incident, never being allergic to it before, I'd be allergic to poison ivy and oak the rest of my life. Yeah, well, maybe it was age, maybe it was that burning it and inhaling it. Who knows? But I'm not going to chance burning this. Now, I pay the city to pick up garbage and trash, and they can come get this, as well as other stuff. I've burned enough stuff on the place and got enough potash saved up. We're going to start letting the city tote it off for a change. Got to pay for it every month anyway. But it does look nicer, don't you think? Well, at least some will, some won't. I sort of, you know, I like the natural way. But this way looks fine too. Yep, we'll get up here and do a little bit of raking. You know, after we get the big stuff up. We'll get her all looking nice and pretty again. I just thought y'all'd want to see. Yep, we're going to finish a little bit of Gatorade, and we'll get her all finished up for today. I think this is going to be about it. Yep, it's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I go slow. Ain't no hurry. It ain't like we're on no timetable. Yep. So hey, let's all put our gloves back on and get her done, okay? Well, we got her all picked up. The majority of it raked up. We're not going to rake up the pine needles. They sort of keep a ground cover. Here, help hold this hillside. Yep. But we got her done. And we'll be able to manage it from here. And I guess, you know, there's still some up on the tree that I can't reach. But it ain't connected to the ground no more. So it'll just die. And that'll be okay. Yep. And we got our little, I think this is called Pysandria or something. I can't remember. It's actually a native creeping shrub-like thing. You see how high it grows. You know, it'll grow up 2-3 feet high, but it tends to creep along the ground too. And it's manageable. I mean, you can see over there, you just run over it, of course, and it'll just creep along the ground. We'll see. I just know this hillside here is awful steep. And if I could get a ground cover to take that didn't require mowing, that'd be a good thing. And I guess tomorrow we'll start trimming around the Latanya, taking the dead out of it. Right, Spooky? Whew, he's tuckered too. And I was going to tackle around this front oak tonight, or this afternoon. But you can see by the shadows getting long, it's getting to be later in the afternoon. Of course, we got a little more breeze. And it's not so hot. No, in the shade anyway. And where we're going to now is what's going to start happening tomorrow. Yeah, you see that in front of you? Right along that fence line. It's grown up, you know, over the last few years. I got some help coming tomorrow. And they're going to take all that down. And all that there in front of the shop. And they're going to start getting the back half of the property there all taken care of. And then I'll be able to burn piles and, you know, the small stuff I can handle. And, you know, I could handle the bigger stuff. You know, I just sort of whittle away at it. Yeah. But, you know, if I can get some help for a reasonable price, I ain't proud. I'll take it. And Spooky, he said he'd chip in. Right, Spook? He's pretty tight with his kitty money. But he said, you know, it was for the home place. And it's his home too. Right, Spooky? And of course, Speedy coming up. She agreed too, didn't you, Speedy? Speedy! Oh, you ain't gonna get too close, are you? I mean, these two love each other to death. I would have never thought it. They came from two different litters. But, you know, Cleo was their mama. Not sure who was their papa. Spooky was in their first litter. And Speedy was in Cleo's second. And of course, last litter. Something she's never let me live down. Well, Speedy never has either. Nope, she's, you know, they've forgiven me somewhat, just not all the way. Yeah, you mentioned BET? Yeah, see if you can find them. So y'all, just another day in paradise. And I'm just sharing with you what I'm up to. Rather than not even putting out a video. And then people get to wondering, what's going on with old Mr. Tom? You know, I'll start getting a lot of messages. It's been a few days. We ain't seen a video. Well, now you see, when you wasn't seeing the video, some of what the little old man was up to. Yep, and still is. But I do appreciate y'all stopping by and lending a hand. And until I, Spooky, Speedy, Cleo, Mr. Gray, sometimes Elrod and Magoo, and Heathcliff, and you know, Miss Gracie, the Queen, and the Princess Elizabeth. See y'all on the next video. Y'all take care. Stay safe. And God bless you as you bless others. Goodbye for now. I've had enough. Oh, boy. Thanks, Spooky. Appreciate you going to the convenience store and getting me another Gold Zero from Gatorade. Man, he is such a pal. He surely is. Later, all.